All right, today we're going to be graphing inequalities on a number line. These number lines can be very fancy, have tons of lines on them, but really all I care about is one specific number. So graph y is less than 3. If I had a number line and I started in the middle with 0, it would be 1, 2, 3, and it would go on 4, 5, here would be some negative numbers, and it could go on forever. We're going to have a dot, and then we're going to have to shade it. So think y is less than 3. Could y equal 3? Would that be true? Is 3 less than 3? No. So if it does not work as a solution, it's going to have an open dot on that 3. Because 3 is not part of the solution, but it's where we're starting. And then it says y is less than 3. So look here. Find the numbers that are less than 3. We practiced seeing numbers as least to greatest on a number line, and the least numbers were as far left as you could go. So they're saying y is going to be less than 3. So that's all these numbers to the left of 3. So the way you represent that is you take that dot and you start just shading to the left. There's infinite possibilities here. Y could be 0, sure. Y could be negative 854.389. That works. It could be all of those. All of those are solutions. Could it be 5? No, because 5 is not less than 3. So I'm going to tell you some tips and tricks of easy ways that you can throw this on a number line pretty quickly. So x is greater than negative 1. Again, really all I need on my number lines when I check them is the number I'm actually looking at, the negative 1. Now, is that part of the solution? Could I say that negative 1 is greater than negative 1? No. So here's the rule when you are graphing these. If it's a less than or a greater than, it's going to be an open dot. Just like if you took those two symbols and mushed them together, it would kind of look like an open dot. But if you have the less than or equal to's, or greater than or equal to's, the way I remember it is if they're using extra ink to write that or equal to, I got to write my extra ink and fill in that dot. So those would get a filled in dot if it's or equal to, okay? And then there's a song. I think it's a Katy Perry song, I'm not sure, but it goes a little something like this. If the letter is first, then follow the arrow. If the letter is second, then don't. So, looking at this middle one, greater than, open dot, and the letter's first. So see how the arrow points to the right? It's greater than. Then we're going to follow the arrow. We're going to shade that same direction. Because if the letter is first, then follow the arrow. You're going to hear that song quite a bit. Check this guy out. A is less than or equal to negative 2. Negative 2. It's got the or equal to solid dot. And if the letter is first, then follow the arrow. It's pointing left, so you shade left. But again, I do want you to remember what that shaded dot means. It means it is part of the solution. Because you could say negative 2 is less than or equal to negative 2. That's true, right? They're equal to each other. So that works. It's part of the solution. That's why it has a closed dot. All these numbers to the left would also work. The numbers to the right, like 0 and 5, those do not work in that inequality. That's why they're not shaded.